You're watching K-Texas News at 6 with Farrah Walton.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us on K-Texas News at 6. I'm Farrah Walton. Two of them trying to up their chances as Biden faces a few challenges, convincing his party that he should be their immediate choice. Sinclair's chief political correspondent Scott Thuman shows us why. The holiday season means people are out shopping, but so are thieves. The best deals to them are unlocked cars or valuables left in plain sight. Jordan Elder from our sister station in San Antonio shows us what police are doing there to crack down. The question so often is, why does he or she stay in a relationship where they're being hurt? Well, Werner says the question needs to be, why are people hurting others? Across Texas and Mexico in 34 communities. And now Jessica is here with HEB. You told me that about 5,000 people are expected to come on out tonight, enjoy a delicious meal. What all goes into putting on this event? I was told every single time someone goes and showers at Love and Care Ministries, they get new underwear and new socks. So as you can imagine, there's that constant need for those items there. Today, Israel and Hamas agreed to pause fighting in Gaza for an additional 2 days in exchange for the release of another 20 women and children held hostage by Hamas. Dozens have already been freed in the past few days, and as national correspondent Atra El-Nashar reports, they're starting to explain what they lived through. Matador, Texas is home to a community of more than 500 people. That community now mourning the loss of the town they once knew. People coming together to clean up and rebuild. These court documents hold the reasons why the state of Texas released Sean Atkins, the man accused in the murder of 13-year-old Haley Dunn, from jail. The documents state further investigation is needed in order to prove that Atkins did, in fact, kill Haley. Matador, Texas is home to a community of more than 500 people. That community now mourning the loss of the town they once knew. People coming together to clean up and rebuild. And we got in it. I was in there maybe 5 seconds before it just crashed outside the door. Homes ripped apart, families digging through the rubble trying to salvage anything that may have survived. Ken Marshall says he owned what used to be his home for 33 years. I raised our kids here and pretty much, and grandkids, and we ate dinner out here every Sunday.
Last night we just had a horrific tornado come through and tear up a lot of the west end of town. We've had some casualties and many injuries, and the outpouring of help has been phenomenal. It just makes you cry. Pat Smith, the mayor of Matador, says people are coming from all directions to help clean up the houses and businesses destroyed. And these people are coming from I don't know where. I don't even know who was working on my place. Meanwhile, others are remembering the moments of Wednesday night.
We got inside, shut the door, and we were standing in our kitchen, and we barely got the door shut, and we heard the sirens go off in town. And we just ran to the basement. We barely got the basement door shut, and it just destroyed everything. Nikki Dempsey says her entire roof fell in on the stairs leading to her basement. Once she got out, her home wasn't her home anymore. Back here you can see where our pins were. We had a barn there, and you can just see it's gone. Like everything is just gone. The mayor of Matador says he hasn't seen anything like this before, and there's a long road of recovery ahead. Reporting in Matador, Texas, I'm Farrah Walton.
I can remember this moment where where I wake up and I just see ambulances and medical personnel and my mom, and for a whole minute I thought I was in heaven.
Casey Waits, a recovering addict, says when addiction grabs you, it grabs you with both hands and doesn't let go.
I was laying in a 4-lane highway, and someone had stopped and pulled me out of the highway.
That was Waits' darkest moment. But it wasn't until he went to jail that he decided it was time to turn his life around.
And my mom called me on the phone and told me about the Men of Nehemiah. And that is when I said to myself, okay, there is someone out there who wants to help me.
Luckily, I found freedom now.
The Men of Nehemiah is a faith-based nonprofit organization recovery program. Lee Morris is the founder of the Men of Nehemiah Abilene and a recovering addict himself. He has a drive to help men recover just like he did.
The passion is just one more man that may find freedom in Christ from the hell of addiction. That's it.
Right here.
The organization offers a 4-phase, 12-month program.
We take a guy that's like Casey or Eric and Andreas that have been at their most broken point, and if they're willing to change, then we make a process available to them. We have a military aspect of our program for discipline and to instill obedience and also self-worth.
The solution is in recovery, and Morris says that comes with people being willing to help.
If you can find a solution to that problem, you would change this community, this city, this state, and this country.
Helping one man recover at a time.
Since I've been in this program, I've been here 6 weeks, and my dad told me the other day that I was allowed back at his home.
The Men of Nehemiah is rebuilding lives and saving men just like Waits.
You'll have 4 locks, sometimes 5. In a good year, you'll have 5 locks.
Cotton. It's versatile and everywhere, used in clothes and towels, important to many economies, and a lot of hard work goes into harvesting it.
As the humidity decreases, we can go out and we check the plant, we check leaves, bite on the seed. If the seed's coat cracks, then we're good to harvest. And so it begins.
West Texas is a large cotton growing area because of the soil and the annual rainfall. And when it rains less than usual, does this mean it's not ready to be harvested?
This one didn't make it.
It didn't make it. Crops don't do too well. Federal crop insurance provides a safety net for farmers, keeping them going in difficult times.
It's the only reason that farmers in this area are still in operation.
Sutton Page is a cotton and wheat farmer. He's worked on this land in Avoca since 2012. Sutton says producing cotton is almost a backwards type of business. They spend their money up front, like purchasing one of these cotton harvesters, and get their paycheck after harvesting season. We are inside of the cotton harvester now, and you were telling me that this harvester turns a 3-person job into a 1-person job.
That's right. That's right. And it just takes one guy to harvest the whole field, but essentially it's just a one-man show.
The production of cotton provides income to more than 250 million people around the world, according to worldwildlife.org. And Rolling Plains Cotton Growers represents growers across 31 counties in Texas.
It is a cotton grower organization that supports the cotton commodity and cotton farmers as a whole in their respective cotton growing region.
Covering 1 million acres, including this land Sutton owns. Even though being a cotton farmer can be a sort of gamble some years.
We do this because we love it. We do this, one, because we grew up in it and it's something that we understand. Nothing beats, seeing the sunrise and the sunset.
Spending upwards of 10 hours a day, harvesting about 100 acres. Reporting in Avoca, I'm Farrah Walton, KTexas News. On January 5th, the city of Breckenridge was notified of some possibly malnourished dogs at this animal shelter, and since then there's been an ongoing investigation.
Hopefully this will never happen again. I've been doing this almost 25 years, and I've never seen anything like this within a shelter setting.
Kathy O'Shields, president of Stevens County Humane Society, picked up 2 dogs from the Breckenridge Animal Shelter that were malnourished.
We then took the dogs, had them vetted with our vet, and they are all currently in our care at this time.
She is now caring for 7 of the malnourished dogs and told us they are doing much better. But how did this happen? We tried to contact the previous animal control officer who oversaw caring for the dogs when they were starving, who resigned to find answers, but he wasn't home. Now the animal shelter is under the police department's care. We went there with a lot of questions and left with not a lot of answers.
Back when I was at the courthouse.
Basil Cantrell, the chief of police in Breckenridge, told us this about the previous animal control officer.
Typically when on weekends that he wasn't going to be up there, that he wasn't going to feed, water, or clean, do all those things, or if he was out sick, what would happen is he'd get with the sergeants, he'd get with one of the officers and say, hey, I'm going to be out this day. Can you go up there, feed water, take care of the animals, that sort of thing.
So then it comes down to whether the dogs were neglected from miscommunication or mismanagement.
It appears that the issue they just wasn't being fed and watered properly.
O'Shields told us the community needs to step up.
Take care of your animals, stop them from running the streets, stop them from getting picked up, and put in a situation where, you know, something could happen.
Cantrell says the police department has protocols in place to hopefully prevent situations like this in the future. A new animal control officer has been hired and they are expected to start next week. In Breckenridge, I'm Farrah Walton, KTexas News.